the repositioning, know that God has purpose behind it. Here it is, you was on the job for 17 years, and here it is that, the doors closed and God birthed out business through that, and so I just thank God for your testimony. I thank God for you coming on this live. Did you have any last remarks or anything that God has on your heart to expound upon before we?
Just one last thing with what you said that I want to leave everyone with from me, because talking about this transitioning period, I think the last thing I want to say, family, because God does so much in the process of going from the pit to the palace. A lot of us in the body of Christ are going to learn that there's a difference between your job and your work. The world, you can have jobs in the world to pay your bills.
That's it.
But the work is what God gave you based on what he designed you to do. He didn't give Adam a job, he gave him work.
That's
and his
it.
work was based on his design. So sometimes when we're transitioning and things look unstable, like you said, and like Joy and I learned, he was transitioning us from dependence on jobs, which is positioned by man. That's the product of man, to understanding our work. When you start getting into your work, that's when you really have to begin to operate by faith. Because when you get into your work, that currency is operating based on the divine and not the Dow Jones and Wall Street. So you start learning things like, if you're doing a black business, I need to give to black businesses. Because how am I to support my black business if I'm not patronizing other black businesses?
That's it.
And so by giving in that exchange, heaven is able to help us understand the value of our work. And your pay from that work is not always money. Sometimes it's networks. Sometimes it's your health. Sometimes it's you simply growing in knowledge of who God is in your life. But your work, nobody can take away from you. Nobody can fire you from it. Nobody can lay you off from it. Your work is going to sustain you throughout your life. So that's the one thing I wanted to talk about on this Pit to Palace talk. A lot of us are in a season you about to discover the work God has for you, whether you keep working your job or not. Understand that job is just a platform and a foundation to help you come into awareness of the work the Lord has for you.
That's good. And even as you were saying that, what came to my heart was God is the CEO, the executive, the president. He is the CEO, the president, and the executive over every established